Hello, you YouTubers. JBuzzsaw79. Unfortunately, I had planned to get more deck profiles out between this and the last one, but I've been really playtesting pretty hard here for my regionals coming up. They're going to be on February 7th here in Wisconsin. So, the deck I'm taking, I finally made my decision. It also kind of took some time. Deck I am taking is my anti-meta, which is the first deck profile I've done on the channel back like 10 months ago. So I did some changes here. I will show the deck off and then briefly talk about stuff as we go through it. But let's just start into it here, shall we? First one up is under King Ryo, because you can't build anti-meta without Ryo. I wish Ryo would come back to, I think 2 would be nice. I don't think he should be at 3, but again, that's good on me for you. I'm running 1 Grand Mole, because Grand Mole is awesome. Just by making the attack, remember, he bounces stuff back to the hand. I'm running 3 Banishers of the Radiance. Banisher just removes everything. It is macro on legs, 1600 attack, 0 defense. I did consider taking out 1 or adding additional Banishers of Light, only because of the fact that there's so many people that run, like 1800, 1600 attack monsters. They could suicide into Radiance, and that would be that, or put them in defense and run them over. However, if you have Banisher of Light, it'd be a 2000 Defender, same effect as Radiance, but Radiance you can play obviously from your hand, so a little bit more of a proactive version, I guess. I'm running 2 of Dinah. I thought about running 3, but I chose to do something else instead, and we'll get to that then. But yeah, if you get Fossil Dinah out, they cannot special summon. If you get Banisher or Macro something out, they cannot. Everything that's sent to the grave is removed, so it's kind of almost like a really good lockdown. Basically, the spells and traps that are in the deck have to protect mainly Dinah and other cards. So 2 DD Warrior Lady, because it's freaking DD Warrior Lady. She's really good. Her effect does not target actually, so that's really nice. I like that. So there's that for you. Next up, I did cut my original engine. I was running King Tiger Mainu. I am reluctant to play him only because I think that he is too slow with some of the decks, that once he gets out, there's things that don't easily power over him. There's other cards that will, just run him over, and his effects, of course. I think 1400 or less, he blows up. And then the idea always was I just remove it, and then I play Burden of the Mighty to power it down. Instead of Burden of the Mighty, I have switched to Pum Princess. Pum Princess says that when it's destroyed, instead of going to the grave, she can go back into Spell and Trap card and then becomes Burden of the Mighty, except she just powers everything down according to the attack points, which is nicer than Burden of the Mighty, because Burden of the Mighty only does level. So people, if they get stuff out, they would run and then go ahead and start doing Igzy plays, and then there's nothing I can do. So temporarily, as I've been testing, this seems to be the best for me. I am running 3 Mermelio. When she's normal summoned, you can add a trap type trap, or hole type trap, excuse me, to the hand. And if she is special summoned, you can go ahead and destroy 1 spell trap card. So, and I am running 1 of her. When she's normal summon, you can special summon Ascension Mermello, and then Mermello will get its effect. I chose to remove one of her only because there's a lot of removal. I don't know how often I'm actually going to be, sitting there able to go ahead and say, oh, well, I'll just go, oh, wait, I can't target because they're all been removed. So, that's just the way it is right now. The one Regeki, because why they brought it back is beyond me. D-Fissure, I think Dimensional Fissure should be moved to 2, but whatever. Stupid Konami. Book of the Moon, because it's Book of the Moon, a lot of uses. And if they give you a Snatch Steal, that's always fun. You snatch to their monster, you can Book a Moon and they don't gain the life because it detaches when you flip it up. It's still on your side. Nice combo play there. Double Lance. I chose not to run 3, but you got to run Lance, especially in anti-meta. I might change it to 3 yet. Who knows? But yeah, the fact that I can depower something 800, so if they attack, like if they attack Banish through Radiance or Fossil Dyna, I can play Lance, and then they just die and are removed, or whatever. So that's really good for me. Of course, I play offensively. If I get something out, I can swing into them, so that's real good. Swords of Concealing Light. Swords of Concealing Light is better than Swords of Revealing Light most of the time, I think. Only because Swords of Concealing Light flips stuff down, and if you're going to do a push, if they have stuff out, you can Swords of Concealing. So their monster effects won't activate if you're going to do that push. It's more aggressive than Revealing, but again, if you want to go off on a field, this is one of the best ways to do it. I was playing against this deck. I had a little bit of problems actually against Noble Arms. He just seemed to have so much attack and stuff that he'd run over me if I didn't pull off King Tiger and Plum Princess. So while playing, I drew and I played Swords of Concealing Light, and there goes all your Noble Arm stuff, because they all get flip face down. I don't target, nor am I destroying, and there's generally no other face up Noble Arms to re-equip to. So, thanks. Next up, of course, you run anti-meta. You gotta run the 3 Pot of Duality. It's standard now. That's all I'm really going to about that. Moving on. Macrocosmos, because it's freaking Macros. Warning, I like that they've changed the wording on it, so it's monster or monsters, so you can hit multiples. Of course, you're bottomless. You gotta have that. Double D prison, in case they attack, you need to remove it, not destroy it. That's very nice. Compulsory evacuation device is really good. This bounce it back, which is kind of what Grandmold does. I am running double Vanya's Emptiness. These I'm actually borrowing from a friend of mine who insisted I should play with them. Again, it's really good. I actually sold mine that I had, because mine were the super secret whatever versions, so I actually thought they were worth the money more than the card. I believe Konami should reprint these again if they're going to keep them out, because $40 for a freaking common is insane. I don't care what anybody tells me. Moving on. Trap Tricks cards. There's a trap hole there, also with the bottomless. Those are my 2 targets right now. Triple Chain, because I don't run Breakthrough. I think Phoenix Chain is better. People argue with me and say yes, but they MST it. Yeah, but generally you want people's effects done, and I really don't want them to attack me. So that's why I think they're better in that sense. The last 5 are, of course, the Double Mirror Force. You attack, I Mirror Force, it's removed. So the global destruction. People ain't ready for it. And of course, the triple wiretap to finish it off. Because I don't like your traps going off. I will decide what traps go off. So that's the deck profile for my regionals coming up here in February. And beyond that, I am running. I'm keeping my extra deck basically generic rank 4. I am running Crazy Box and Acid Golem beyond that in there, and Chimera Tech Fortress to suck up their stuff. I'm also going to be running skill drain base in my other part of my deck there. So thanks a lot. Bye.